Hey everyone, this is Melissa. I am going to just kind of shoot straight right now. By the way, if you notice that my face looks like it's been Botoxed, it's because it's been wowed and I had amazing results. Anyways, so I am talking to the people who joined the business and then did nothing, or joined the business and worked for a couple weeks and then gave up. I have some questions to ask you guys, okay? Now, you might be really mad at me, and I'm okay with that because sometimes the questions that make us mad are the questions that we need to hear the most. And my question is, so many of you spent a lot of time really processing, should I join this team or should I not? So I know personally on my team, there are some people who took 6 months, 12 months, maybe 17 months to decide if they wanted to join. And then they joined, and then they did nothing. And, or you talked to a few people, posted 3 times, and then did nothing. So my question is, I know that some of you guys had to scrounge together money to do this. I know that every single one of you who joined with big vision in mind for your future. You watch people, whoever caused you to want to join, you've been watching them, and you've seen their success, and you've seen that they are doing well, and you want that. You want to be able to go on date nights or be able to buy your kids school supplies without it putting it on a credit card, or you want to be able to go on vacation, or you want to pay off debt, or you want to give huge, ridiculous amounts. You want to retire your husband, you want to build a new house, you want to move, you want to buy a car, whatever. You have all of these reasons. You want to adopt, you want to, I don't know, there's so many reasons. The reasons are endless. And I know that every single one of you has a very specific big reason why you chose to join. So my question is, why have you done nothing? Or why did you do a few things, like I said, post a couple times, and then do nothing? What happened between the time you joined and the time you chose to do nothing to change your mind? What happened when you scrounged together money to spend to join this business, which is an investment, then to just throw that away and do nothing? Why don't you listen to your upline? If your upline is brand new, then they have an upline who's been around for a while. And if you listen to your upline, we will talk about posting every single day, a few times a day, about talking about this business to everybody you know, not in a pushy salesperson way, but just this is my life, like the way you talk about your kids or about your sports activities or your whatever it is that you like to do and you talk about. We will talk about reaching out and talking to people and asking them to join your team, or asking them if they want to try the products or get some friends together and they can try products. Some of you say, once you join, I can't afford to do this business. You guys, my husband and I have both owned a business, okay? I own a photography business. He's owned a trucking business. And if we could have run those businesses for $100 a month, I mean, I can't even imagine. But instead, it cost us hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands, hundreds and thousands of dollars a month to run our businesses. And let me talk about my husband for a second. So he owned a semi, which, if you know anything about semis, are really expensive. They're really expensive to fuel up. They're really expensive to fix. They're really expensive to run. They're really expensive to buy. And we bought our first semi right when the economy crashed. So, for example, fuel went from being like $1.50 a gallon to like almost $4 a gallon, but he didn't get paid anymore. So he went from spending a couple $100s a month on fuel to like $1,000 a month, but we did not get paid anymore. And he has worked more hours in his 4 years than I can ever imagine working, because he always worked 80 to 100 hours a week. And he had 2 options every single week. He had the option to say, I'm not going to do it. It's too hard. Or, what is my why? Why am I going to work every week? Well, I'm going to work so we don't get kicked out of our house. I'm going to work so my wife can stay home with our kids. I'm going to work so I can feed my family. And you guys, the thing about his business is that he never made any money. It was an awful business to be in. We actually didn't make a personal income about half the time, about half the year. And so if anyone's going to say this is not worth putting in 80 to 100 hours, that would have been it. But he knew that the alternative was destruction and demise, really, when you think about it. I didn't go to school, so I didn't have a degree in anything. I couldn't have gone and made better money doing anything. He didn't go to school, so he didn't have a degree, so he couldn't have gone and made better money doing anything. So he did it because he wanted a better future for our family. We were getting out of debt. And so even though we did not make much money, we were paying down debt. So we knew that eventually the hard work would pay off, even though it never felt like it. You guys, if he could have done this business and made any amount, or done his trucking business and made any amount of money the way we can with It Works, I mean, it like blows his mind when he thinks about the hour. He's like, man, what if I had put 80 to 100 hours a week into It Works? He's like, we would have been ambassador in 3 months. I mean, like, nobody has to put 80 to 100 hours a week into this business. But my point is that he knew the big picture is that it wasn't an option to quit. He had to keep going. And my question is, you joined this business to change your family's future, and yet somewhere in there, you stopped going. You decided that posting on Facebook that you're already on, or posting on Instagram that you're already on, is too much work. I don't understand that. I'm asking you why. Why was that too much work? Okay, so maybe you had some family and friends that said, I don't believe in this business. So what if you decided you wanted to lose weight and all your family and friends are heavy and they give you a hard time because they don't want you to lose weight because they want you to be heavy with them? Are you going to live heavy for the rest of your life just because your friends and family aren't supporting you in losing weight or getting out of debt? You guys, when we chose to get out of debt, that affected some of our family and friends because we had to say no to things. We couldn't go out to movies. We couldn't go out to lunch or out to dinner. We couldn't go on vacations. We had to be really careful with what kind of gifts we bought because we were trying to get out of debt. Well, what if people had given us a hard time about that? Would we just live in tens and thousands of dollars in debt for the rest of our life simply because our family and friends didn't approve? They did approve, but I'm just saying, what if they didn't? You guys, we cannot let other people dictate our future. Our future is up to us. It's up to God, but it is up to our actions. We are not, it is not worth living in penny to penny, paycheck to paycheck, never having any extra, never being able, always being that internal feeling of just, how am I going to pay for milk when I go to the store today? Or every time you swipe your debit card, just cringing, hoping that it doesn't get declined because you haven't looked at your account for a couple of days and you're not sure where you're at in your checkbook. And or having it be declined and you have to put all of your food back and you have to figure out another way. You guys, that is not worth it. So my question to you is why? Why aren't you making this a priority? I would love to hear why, because then maybe I can walk you through it. I feel like there's two main reasons. One is fear, and one is simply that we want things just handed to us. And if fear is the reason, you guys, everything in this world that we do afraid is the most worthwhile thing we could do. Everything I have done that has been the best thing in my life, I have done afraid. Getting married was scary. Having kids was scary. Buying a house was scary. Getting out of debt was scary because we had to commit to something that was really hard. Choosing to put exercise as a priority in my life, that's scary because I'm committing to something that I don't know if I can follow through with. Choosing to eat healthy is scary. Same thing. What if I can't follow through with it? You guys, changing your life, that's scary. Nothing could be more worth it. Our other reason is because we just want things handed to us. We don't want to work. We don't want to. Our generation, our culture, especially in the United States, I don't know how other places are. We want things get handed to us. We don't want to save to buy things. We want to just buy them today because we feel like it. We don't want to pay off debt because that takes energy and time and commitment. We don't want to lose weight because whatever, all these things. We want things just handed to us. And you guys, that is the worst reason in the world not to change your future because you don't want to try. So I really, really, really want you to think through why would you have spent all this time and energy deciding to do something, deciding to want to change your life, and then never doing anything about it. And I encourage you to tell your upline or me or your sideline or somebody and then figure out if you're going to change that, if you're going to change your future. I hope you really do.